Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, Jaguar fans. Just want to check in with you. The Jacksonville Jaguars played another phenomenal. I mean, if there's a better way to lose, it's the way the Jaguars have done it in the last couple of weeks. Now, those young players. I tell you, they've been putting it all on the field, and once again, a disappointing end, but not after a valiant effort. Uh, the Jaguars started out the game just from the strike, they were up like 9-0, 9-0 the first quarter. And it took the second quarter after several there's been a lot of missed field goal opportunities in this game, a lot of extra points, a couple of interceptions were thrown in this game. And Cousins, I tell you, he had a tough day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, he wound up putting up 24 points, but some of that was field goals. And of course, he had a big day, but yeah, it was not without multiplicity of challenges. Now in the at halftime, the score was 9-6, and then the third quarter saw Minnesota take a brief lead. Jacksonville came back, and then there was the battle on the fourth quarter where Minnesota was trying to find every way they could to give the game away, but they managed to somehow survive a late field goal attempt by the Jacksonville Jaguars after they themselves missing the field goal. And it resulted in them going into overtime. Now, in overtime, of course, Jacksonville Jaguars defense looked at like a flash of the past. I mean, they shut them down. They shut Cousins down and forced them to kick the ball. Now, on the ensuing kick, what happened pretty much spiraled out of control. When they kicked the ball was first. It was in the Jaguars had some good field position because pending Minnesota deep into their own end zone. But then when they kicked the ball, there was a apparent holding penalty that negated the advantage in the field goal, a field possession advantage, and it caused Jacksonville to be pushed back further than what they originally was. Well, as Jacksonville began to make their drive on to a possible upset of the Minnesota Vikings, they found themselves strucken with an interception. And when McGlendon threw that interception, that entailed started the final drive, which wind up somewhere near the 8 or 9 yard line, and of course, Minnesota continued to struggle against Jacksonville's young defense on first and second goal, and so they decided not to take any chances on that, and they decided to go ahead and kick a field goal. Wound up being a 23-yard field goal for the game-winning points in overtime against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, what that did is made Minnesota, of course, a 500 team at 6-6, and it caused Jacksonville to. Thank you for tuning in to my live today. Yeah, it caused Jacksonville, of course, to fall to 1-12. Now, I had some mixed feelings about this game as a diehard Jaguar fan. Of course, I have to admit that I'm longing for that maybe first or second pick in overall, but it just was exciting to see how they fought with Minnesota. A little disappointing in Minnesota. I thought they were going to play a lot tougher than they played. They did seem to play, but they were mistake prone against a struggling Jacksonville Jaguar team that was basically resilient, and everybody's basically fighting for their jobs in Jacksonville. As you know, this past week, Dave Caldwell was released. He was fired after some 7 or 8 seasons with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yeah. I would like to think we're actually has they've been playing tough, so I can't really say we're tanking. They've been having every team they played, just like I give you for example, the Tennessee Titans really are supposed to be the best team in the AFC South, where they are. I mean, with the record wise, but Cleveland Brown just almost nearly blow them out until they came back with some garbage points at the end to make the game look closer. But at one point, it was 41-21. Well, last week, Cleveland struggled with Jacksonville. I mean, it took the game ending to the points to win the game. So this young team, even though they've been losing this record loss now 11, well now 12 losses in a row. That's a franchise record. 12 losses in a row. And even though they've been losing, they have been basically playing their heart out. They just not don't have that much talent. And You can tell that the tides is turning. You can tell that we know that, of course, there's going to be new coaching. There's going to be just a new beginning, and I'm excited because that it motivates me to renew my season tickets for this coming year. We're gonna have a new GM. We're gonna have two first round draft picks. We're gonna have, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of good capital, and then Jackson will have a lot of cap space. So next year's Jaguars team is going to be totally different from this year's Jaguar team. But one thing I can say about, like I said, the players is on, Robinson, man, he's playing his heart out. Man, what a phenomenal undrafted rookie. Is just running all over the place. You would think this man is being paid $2 million a year. I mean, he's an undrafted rookie and he's producing on a losing team every week in, week out, doing a phenomenal job. He Robinson is just, he's just as my man say, he's a beast. He is. He's just been doing a phenomenal job. And now we're on, of course, the third quarterback. Now I think that's just Doug Marone's way of just trying to survive his job. But really, he has to know that he's going to lose his job at the end of the season because the Dave Caldwell who picked him is gone. So therefore, when the new GM get in, they're not going to keep a coach who has a .2 winning percentage overall. No, that's not going to happen. And we, as the fans, season ticket holders, not going to put up with that. We do appreciate Sean Codd going ahead and letting, of course, Dave Caldwell go. But the team is showing flashes of spirit that they're not just coming out there and giving a poor performance. They're fighting. And yeah, the schedule, I mean, their record looks ugly, but teams still, you know what? They're leaving their dignity and respect on the field. They're going out there and they're giving people a contest. Now, for them to push a Minnesota team who is fighting for their playoff life to overtime, that's remarkable for I say 1-12, but actually 1-11 team. That's remarkable for a 1-11 team to push Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota to the brink of a loss. And I tell you, if they had not thrown that interception, they were actually on a good drive. And they possibly could have went down and kick a field goal and won the game. I kind of was rooting for them to win because I'm a Jaguar fan, but I don't feel so bad if they lose right now at this point, especially with all the losses we got now and how close we are to picking so high. But I tell you, it's still exciting times in Jacksonville. Yeah, we're still on this losing streak, but I still love them, and we're still doing what we're supposed to do, which is stick there with our team. And good luck to Minnesota Vikings and their pursuit for a playoff berth because it is hard there to in that division there to at 6-6. It's going to be tough. I think Minnesota's at the top uh, for a possible berth there. And this week games and the games going on right now is going to determine who gets those wild card bids in the NFC. And of course, for us, we're just looking at the draft picks. we mess around and upset somebody, it might mess us up in the draft. But I still got to root for them no matter what, however the ball, however it falls out. We're still looking towards the future. And like I said, this is not our season, of course, and it hasn't been our decade. For 10 years, we've struggled as a team, and it, of course, has impacted, I would say, the passion. I don't want to. Well, let me rephrase that. It hasn't impacted the passion. We still love our team. It has created a cloud of negativity surrounded us. I mean, every time you think about the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're thinking about the fact that we just don't get it, can't get right. Like one of the movies say, can't get right, just can't get right. Well, hopefully next year we can get right and get a good GM in here who's concerned about producing winning teams, picking high level, but not just any old picks, with not wasting this capital, because this the picks in this draft is going to affect the Jaguars for probably another 10 years. Is for This is the most important draft of and I hate to be talking about the draft. Everybody's thinking about playoff, but my team is at the point of draft talk. So this is the most important draft pick of our franchise because we have the opportunity to go in there in that draft and pick up some good cap, and then we got all this cap space. We could grab some great veterans along with some good rookies, and you can see Jacksonville right in the hunt even for the playoff next. It don't have to be the win the division, but at least in the playoff talk, this time next year it could be Jacksonville the one fighting for the stay in the playoff. And that would be just remarkable for us to have a turnaround like that. But with that being said, like I said, the final score here was 27-24. And really, it was just that close the entire game. Like I said at the beginning, Jacksonville started, came out, they jumped out to a 9-0 lead in the first quarter. Second quarter, and I was kind of shocked when I seen a couple of drives with Minnesota. You could tell Jacksonville's defense was motivated, and you could tell that Minnesota was offense was a little overconfident. And I was just amazed how and I think, and it's kind of unfortunate for Minnesota, that a lot of the team's going to watch this tape and they're going to see how Jacksonville was able to get through that offensive line. I don't know if there's some chances that uh, uh, well, first thing that would be improving is the quarterback position. We need a quarterback. We need a franchise quarterback. That's what the question that was asked. We need a friend. We've been needing one, uh, and I would say it as a season ticket holder. Some almost 10 years ago, the franchise Dave Caldwell, when he came in, his statement was, "We will not get Tim Tebow," and that's what he said. And he tried to pick in Florida somebody comfortable in his mind to Tim Tebow. That was Blake Bortles of UCF. And of course, my colleague UCF Jags. I know he's well known and he does a lot of YouTube, and he's a popular on YouTube. And that's where he started to get, of course, famous from reporting about the Jaguars. As I think at that time he was graduating from college as a college, and I actually met him, a very fine young man. But we've been struggling with this franchise, trying to hold on to uh, uh, um, covering up their mistakes for seasons and seasons in. And we had one good season breakout in 2017. 2018 was a very disappointing season because basically the fans were promised the Super Bowl. Basically, we got a disappointing 6-10 season. Last season, at 5-11, was just another travesty. And of course, we began to lose all our best players in last year's season. Here we are now. Well, is it last year or the year before last? Well, at this point, last year I think it was like 3-13, and here we are now at 1-11, and looking here in week 13 with 4 weeks to go. Uh, the teams that we face are top quality teams, and it's going to be very difficult for Jacksonville to find a win other than an upset. But as you say, any given Sunday, and it almost was any given Sunday on this Sunday. But with that being said, the Jaguars now are poised to, of course, um, 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 to let's see here, looking at this here. Um, the Jaguars now are poised to uh, continue to fight on. And like I said, we're going to be fighting on to the end. We're going to continue to be behind them and support them. And I would like to invite you to, of course, to like and to subscribe to my page. And once again, I just want to say, Duval, go Jags! And y'all take care and thank you for tuning in.